All week's new secrets about Squid Game are discovered. Some of them are funny, and others are quite deep. That's why today on Charlietales, I bring you a new compilation of curiosities from Season 3. I also found many incredible secrets from Season 1. Some have never been shown, so stay to discover them together. Ready? Let's begin. At the end of Season 1, Gi-hun met again with the recruiter, who was playing Dakji with a poor, unknown guy. In this scene, Gi-hun threatens this man, so he doesn't go to the games. He even takes away his card. Well, this guy appears in Season 2 as player 189. We can see him in the pentathlon game. Apparently, he didn't listen to Gi-hun, and sadly didn't survive that game. I'm showing you on screen the faces of both side by side. They are the same person. Also, I checked the credits of both episodes and found the name of the actor. His name is Kwon Yoo-jun, and he appeared in both seasons. It's confirmed. As additional information, player 189 is not played by just any actor. Kwon Yoo-jun also shown in Season 1 by playing the frontman, but only in the scenes where he had the mask on. Actor Lee Byung-hun did not do these scenes. That's why in interviews, he has commented that in Season 1, he barely participated. In almost all of Season 1, the frontman only appeared with a mask and was played by Kwon Yoo-jun. Actor Lee Byung-hun only appeared in about 3 scenes. At Captain Park's house, Mr. Choi was surprised by a rather fierce dog. Thanks to behind-the-scenes videos, we know that this dog was not real. It was totally generated by CGI. But why did they do this? Well, in Korea, the animal protection laws are very strict. It is allowed to use dogs in series and movies. But what is not allowed is to show real animals being hurt or eliminated. It doesn't matter if the wounds are fake. The idea of harming them cannot be shown. As we all know, the dog in the Squid Game scene was shot by Mr. Choi. This would legally be considered animal abuse, so it was impossible to use a real dog. In the first episode of the series, Gi-hun celebrated his daughter's birthday with her, but he felt bad for not having given her a better gift. Here, Gi-hun made her a promise. He told her that on her next birthday, he would give her a great gift, something very special. This promise was fulfilled at the end of the series. After Gi-hun's death, we saw how the frontman brought a great gift to the little girl. He gave her her father's uniform, and also all the money he won in the games. It is literally a huge gift, both economically and symbolically, since Gi-hun's uniform represents all his battle as a player in the games, and the money is the reward he earned when he sacrificed everything in Season 1. The frontman unknowingly fulfilled Gi-hun's promise. Of course, this scene happens 3 years after the first, but the idea is clear. During the jump rope game, we meet a player who starts throwing out all the participants. His goal was to eliminate them all, to win the games by himself, along with Gi-hun. What's interesting is that we had already seen this player in Season 2. In the pentathlon game, he was about to join Gi-hun's team. Dae-ho was the one who recruited him, and even told us he was also a former Marine. This guy wanted to team up with Gi-hun from the beginning, but they never let him. That's why in the semi-final he offered again to win with him, but he was rejected again. In the final episode, we see that guard number 11 wears a very particular outfit. It's an orange shirt, a dull-colored jacket, and a blue cap. Well, this outfit is identical to the one Gi-hun used in Season 1 of the series, before winning the games. It's impossible that this is a coincidence. To me, they are connecting both characters because they share similarities at these points in their lives. At that time, Gi-hun couldn't see his daughter because he had no money, so he entered the games to win money and be allowed to be with her. Guard 11 is similar. In this scene, she is looking for her little daughter, only she has just come out of the games, and thanks to that escape, she has a chance to find her. In Season 2, the YouTuber player talks with his girlfriend about what they could do after getting out of the games. He wants to take both their money and invest it in something called futures. According to Mayungi, this kind of investment is very high yield. But the truly interesting thing is that this is the same type of investment Sang-woo tried before Season 1. In a conversation with Gi-hun, he commented that he lost all his money and ended up in debt because of investing in something called futures. According to Google, futures are very high-yield investments, but also extremely risky. It is very difficult to make money there. With all this context, we can understand several things. First, that even if Myung-gi had won the games, he still would have lost all his money in this investment. Also, we understand that Sang-woo is a more experienced version of Myung-gi, since he already went through the mistakes the YouTuber was just about to make. In the last episode, we saw the return of the legendary Il-nam, the creator of the games. He is represented as a wax statue in his room. This is the only image of the actor we see in the entire season, and it was made with special effects. But why didn't they bring the original actor back? The reality is that the actor who plays Il Nam was accused of a crime against a woman in 2022. This happened shortly after filming the first season of the series. In 2024, he was convicted for this crime, so he was removed from any TV project. For this reason, Netflix production did not bring him back. His character appears in some scenes, but using his mask, so it's another actor who plays him. And for the old man's voice, the production used AI technology. They used dialogues from season 1 to replicate the actor's exact voice for these scenes. Thanks to behind-the-scenes videos, we can finally see how they made player 222's baby. Many believed it was all CGI, but the reality is that they used a pretty realistic robotic doll. We can see it in these scenes with Gi-hun. As we can see, the baby did exist. The doll could make real movements that resemble those of a real infant. Later, everything was improved with CGI to get the final result. But there are other scenes where they used a different technique. For example, in the birth scene. Here we can notice that they used a pretty ugly doll that only served as a guide for the actors and special effects. But really, its whole body was generated with CGI. I find it admirable how the actors can cry looking at such an ugly doll. Episode 2 of the final season is titled The Starry Night, and it shows us the players fighting in a maze. The title of the episode refers to the famous painting by Vincent van Gogh, The Starry Night. On the ceiling of the maze, we can see a sky quite similar to that of this painting. The original painting has an interesting story. After cutting off an ear, Van Gogh voluntarily committed himself to a mental asylum. Here he painted the picture from the window of his bedroom, behind the bars, a man locked up contemplating the outside world. This reminds us of the players in Squid Game, who must sneak through a maze while looking for the exit. They long for freedom, just like Van Gogh did during his confinement. To complement the previous curiosity, the maze game is based on an important part of Korean culture. In Korea, like in many countries, it is normal for children to play in the street. But mothers always warn their children not to stay out too late, because something bad could happen to them. That's why we can see stars painted on the walls of the game. The whole maze represents the street at night. The exit door represents the children's home. The blue players must return home before the red team eliminates them. Everything has a childish symbolism, but also quite macabre. That's all for today. If you liked the video, you'd really help me out by leaving a like. That would be legendary. Also, remember to subscribe to see more videos like this. Thanks for listening. My name is Charlie, and I'll see you in the future.